It's week 1 of the course of the CertTESOL.
Everything is bouncing off the head.
Stephanie, my teen.
I'm teaching my first lesson.
Quite nervous.
There are so many things to do this last week.
The learner profile was due last Friday, but I didn't hand it in.
1 to 10, how challenging do you think it is?
12.
Anyone and everyone can become a good teacher.
It's not like you have to reach Mars or something.
It's week 1 of the course of the CertTESOL, and right now the trainees are studying what we call an unknown language.
The first 15-20 minutes was like everything is bouncing off the head.
Con. Us.
That's where they study a language that they've never studied before. This week they are studying Irish.
Con. Us.
It made me realize this is how my learner would feel when I am teaching them. If they are unknown to English and their main language is Chinese or Korean or Japanese, this is exactly how they will feel.
It's such a powerful part of the course because it shows people firsthand how this teaching approach works, and they can actually see real development in the space of 4 hours.
Conasatatu.
Sean, teacher, it was like he was using his gestures, facial expressions.
Tamegama. Tamegadona. Conasatatu. Tamegama.
Back and forth, so much practice.
Stephanie, my teen. Yes.
Tamegama, Stephanie.
Tamegama.
Martin, Tamegama.
Asking each and every class student, like, okay, what is this? What is that? Back and forth, practicing it again and again and again and again. We got hang of it. Like, okay.
Conastatu.
Tamegama. August 2 fine.
Tamegama.
Diog?
Fion Ban, Fion Berg.
I've never been taught like that. Like, I think if I would have been taught like that, my Spanish, I would have still remembered it, I think.
When you actually start teaching, hi Stephanie, when you start teaching next week, how do you think your learners will feel in those lessons as well?
Yeah.
Same way as you?
I think I'll be the one that's extremely nervous.
It's definitely something that is an eye-opener for a lot of those trainees because they probably haven't been in that situation before, especially if you're a native speaker of English.
It puts you in the your student shoes, right? So yeah, like anytime they look at me with the confused face, I'm like, oh, it's like the ULJ. Yeah, there's like someone talking English at me. What's happening?
Allez à votre place, copier la citation. Tant pis pour vous, vos parents paieront. Ah, elle va être un peu belle, la France, dans 10 ans.
The teacher is teaching English using only English. They don't translate anything in the classroom. You get learners talking as soon as possible so that they're using language they already know.
How should people choose partners? What do you look for?
I only care of one thing, good looking.
You then teach the language in a relevant context so they're using it in an everyday setting.
Is it good communication? Excellent. Kim, they don't understand each other, right? Misunderstanding, miscommunication, good.
In all steps, you're eliciting from the learners so they're contributing all the time.
Attract, yep.
Yeah. Have a sense of humor.
Nice.
Really rich.
Is it only one thing or he has to be many things?
Many things.
So he has to be balanced, yeah.
You're involving them in discussions so they're communicating and starting to use the language.
Yeah, the girl with a beautiful dress.
tomorrow the trainee teachers will be watching some guided observation classes, and they'll be observing one of their experienced course tutors teaching the lesson, and then afterwards they'll have a feedback session with that tutor where the tutor will talk them through some of the rationale behind why they chose to teach things in a certain way.
Seeing other people teach, especially those people that are experienced and qualified, can be very valuable. Not only do you pick up tips, but it actually visualizes the theory that's been learned and the techniques and methodologies that you've been introduced to.
Jenny is like one of my favorites. She puts a lot of effort in making sure that we understand. Even the slides, when it put there, it's so clear. And then along with the slides, she's marking and writing there. So we know what we are, like if there is a sentence with an example, how it's connected, what the intonation is, what the speech is going up and down. She's marking it there. She's setting an example there. And then she's a kind of person who makes you feel like you can ask me anything. Like, don't feel like it's a silly question or whatever. She's listening and she's guiding or helping you. Like if you're stuck somewhere, I'm like, okay, I want to be like that. Like, you know,
I always try to make sure that my classrooms and my input sessions simulate what they should be doing in their own lessons in the future.
Two fingers on the voice box. Can you tell me, does it vibrate or not?
Yes. Yes.
It's like you're smiling almost. E, like this. Well done, very good. All of these ones, they end with the all of these ones end with the I, and all these ones end with the U.
This is English for Asia. Since 1999, we've been offering Trinity Certificate in TESOL programs, and we've trained more than 2,500 students.
You can see that one of them is the present tense and the other is talking about past abilities.
Final activity. And these are jokes, okay? But the jokes are written in IPA.
Display and then...
Blades, yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, with
I know, right?
Really difficult when you can't actually work it out in your own head. How are you supposed to tell someone else?
Yeah.
We often think about the teachers that inspired us, made us grow in their classes.
I shall always remember.
And they would describe them on the more emotional side, right? Like my teacher's very patient with me.
Patience, understanding, love.
Teachers only have to be this. It's all about personality.
You've got that to give them, darling. And that's why you'll get through to them.
What people don't realize is that niceness, that friendliness is not just through, the innate personality. It's something that teachers have developed over time. With the CertTESOL, what we're trying to do is break down systematically what language is and how it can be taught in the classroom. Anyone and everyone can become a good teacher if those core concepts are developed, experimented with. Fighting the urge to just tell them something and try to elicit it, for example, using questions.
I'm pushing, I'm asking, I'm saying like, why do you think that? And I'm making them give me reasons.
Correcting learner errors, right? It's very easy for us to go, no, that's wrong. This is the right way.
To make them think about the meaning is way different. Also, it's way harder.
It may seem spontaneous in the moment, but they've planned for that. You also need to make sure that you emotionally engage the learners.
So it's not just about curriculum and what I have to teach. It's like, is this motivating? Is this relevant for them?
It's more about encouragement rather than just an interaction, rather than just teacher to student only.
Constant engagement and constant interaction.
So what I'm telling you is your favorite teacher in school was not nice, they were not kind.
After everything you've done for me.
So what were they?
Skilled.
So I'm teaching my first lesson tomorrow.
The first TP was really scary.
I didn't really make any jokes and I was really nervous. I was putting my hands here and walking around.
The first teaching practice I remember I spent
10, 12 hours just to prepare the lesson.
What am I teaching? The apologizing option is more fun. They will have to use the phrases that I teach them to do a role play. So they will have to apologize and accept an apology. It's too late to apologize.
Apologize.
Quite nervous, but I have planned out everything.
I just found it really, quite intimidating in the class, especially with Ellen watching.
It doesn't matter how perfect your lesson plan is. It depends on how they respond.
So, hello everyone. Hi. I am Rainbow. I'm Rainbow. Yeah, my name is Rainbow. I'll be teaching your lesson today. Accept an apology means you think it's okay, you understand. Can you come up with words we say when we want to apologize? I hope they learn something. If not, at least they have a good time. We mentioned, I think it was Lisa who said, "That's all right." That's all right. Yes, that's all right.
Even like there were two women who left, and I think they had to go for work. But when she was getting up, I was like, "Oh no, she's leaving." But she's like, "No, I have to go work. I have got a call from work." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." But it just plays in your mind, you know.
So for your first teaching practice, always remember that every single observer who's there has done TP1 in their lives. They know how it feels, and they are going to help you out if there's a problem.
I'm sorry. You can. Don't worry about it.
Who got the you step on your friend's foot? So we have learned a lot more today. Hope you enjoy the lesson. Yay! I sort of ended earlier than I expected. So I think the materials are a little bit too easy for them.
I like your class very much.
Oh really? Thank you so much. Very kind.
You make me think
a lot.
Intensely.
Oh,
think a lot.
That's good?
Yes.
Okay. So I try my best. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, it's because personally, I didn't think I did so well. And actually, I thought he was the one that disliked my class the most. So the fact that he said it to me, I'm like, well, okay, that's quite nice to hear. Yeah, it's quite, it gives me a nice feeling.
Yeah, they seem happy. They like the final task. You step on your friend's foot, and I saw them acting up. I step on it.
I think a lot of them are pleasantly surprised at how well they've done, and I can definitely see that people are becoming a lot more upbeat and a lot more motivated by how they're developing, and they're seeing some real improvements in their teaching.
I'm happy because now I know what I need to do for the next TP. I can work out what I need to change.
I could have made it a little bit more difficult.
This course is not about getting the good grades. It's about trying things, failing, and then writing about it and thinking about it and learning from your mistakes. So it's okay to not be perfect. You have to fail because you learn so much every time you have a TP and then you're like, oh, I didn't anticipate it. I didn't know that this could happen, or these are the kind of questions they could ask. Oh, I had no idea. But unless you do it, you never will know. It doesn't matter how much you read.
You're learning a completely new skill for most people. So there is going to be feedback that you weren't expecting. You might get a grade that you didn't want. It does hurt a little bit. It's a bit uncomfortable.
Something that gives you a stagnation, right? Like resistance. That means that's what you need to work on. There is a reason, right? It's very easy to go and do things that you know how to do, but not everyone gets the bravery to do something that you don't know.
Overcoming that fear of failure and using that opportunity to then develop, work through the problem and get better is one of the biggest challenges of the course.
That reflective process, experiment, reflect, apply, it's really beneficial to both the teacher who's doing it and also the students, right? So what the CERT aims to do is to develop that minimum level of awareness needed in order to succeed post-CERT, right? It's like that, like the old adage, give a man a fish and he'll live for a day, but teach a man how to fish and he'll live, well, he'll eat fish for the rest of his life, right? So that's what the cert is trying to do.
The tutors are very specific and critical. They're kind, but also they're very frank and honest about what you have to work on.
The most common feedback I give after TPs is probably slow down. The rate of speech that we need to have to communicate with learners, especially low-level learners, is a lot slower than we think it is.
The recurring comment would probably be, you talk less, make students talk more. Fight that urge, again, that instinct to talk over or talk more or over-explain.
Alan actually was great. I remember after my first in-person TP, I was like, oh, my timing was wrong. I didn't do this right. And he said to me, he's like, so how do you think they feel? And I'm like, well, they enjoyed it. And he was like, whose class was it? And I said, mine. And he said, no, it wasn't yours. It was theirs. I'm like, oh. And he's like, they learned something. They got something out of it. You did great. Just chill. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, thinking about it like that. And he's like, whatever you plan on the lesson, it's a piece of paper. And when you're in class, it's a different experience.
So that's really nice to hear. Not sure I'd have said to chill out. Planning is obviously very, very important. And planning is also a step to help us learn our skills and prepare. It's not just about putting some activities in the right order. It's about preparing the teacher for the classroom.
It's the steps which guides you through. It's like boom, boom, boom. It's not like you have to reach Mars or something. It's fine. Like, you can do it. We are here to teach. Follow the steps. Listen what we have learned from everyone and follow it.
There are so many things to do this last week. Like, we have our learner profile, we have our material assignment, we have 3 lessons this week.
Because there's only like 2 days left and there's so much to do.
Like when you've got MA, LP, LA, and TP, that's 4 in 1. And this is the worst week, like week 4.
The learner profile was due last Friday, but I didn't hand it until this Tuesday.
I'm more comfortable teaching now, I think.
I'm not that nervous how it was when I had to give my TP1.
I actually had fun planning my lesson last night, and I was excited to see my students in class. So I was shocked. I didn't think I would get to the point where I would enjoy thinking about what my student can get out of my lessons.
The moderator from Trinity has come for the moderation of us.
Date of arrival, 17th September, today. But it can't. I mean, it can't. Get onto this government department at once.
The moderator asked us kind of like what we were doing and what were the reasons behind the materials that we chose, and was it successful?
This is the last thing, and I have just finished my interview with the moderator, so it's the official end.
Sorry, it's taking so long.
I was looking forward to the end of the course, but I was walking to the center yesterday buying my breakfast, and I sent a message to the group that I think, oh, I feel like I'll be missing you guys.
It is intense, so clear your schedule. You need to be really good at time management.
For future teachers, it's good to have a lot of pressure and to be challenged on the spot and deal with things as they come. You learn a lot as a person, as a teacher. It's life-changing.
I need something to lean on. Well, ideally someone, but definitely it did change my life. Yeah, because I got a job right after. I got a job at a primary school.
I was already a teacher before. I was coming to a point in my career that it was needed. Something clicked, so it's not so much having the perfect lesson plan, and following the curriculum. It's more like, am I doing as much as I should be doing for my students to get out of the classroom and say, oh, I learned something. I took something home with me today.
I just want to make sure that every child gets something out of me when I go into that classroom every day.
It's intensive, but I think if you have a good set of people with you, it's a lot easier.
Rainbow, I'd say, has become the closest friend from CertTESOL.
You need your peer support. It's emotional support and academic support, I'll say.
Mostly the emotional support.
You definitely build a bond with people that you are suffering with.
I do value our friendship more than the certificate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Stafford. Thank you, Bullock. Go easy on the mince pie. Oh, sir. Merry Christmas. Say goodbye to Mrs. Chipping for me. Yes, I will indeed. I'm going to bring Mrs.